Hi there. Welcome to the Smell the Coffee channel. Welcome to all you guys and girls to the Wake Up and Smell the Coffee community. Are you waking up yet? Are you piecing it together? What's happening to us? That's why we're here. I want to form a community. So please subscribe for me, like the videos and share it. Please share my videos with friends. Let it spark conversations. Let it spark thoughts for you all. I want to build this community so that I can get my information out to more and more people, and more of you can involve yourselves. Please participate. Let me know your thoughts. My email will be in the description. Email me, comment, give me your insights into all the things that I talk about. I want this to be a community. Each and every one of you is going to be part of it. And please, let's see this grow and let's get this to reach more and more people. So welcome again, you fine people today. Thank you for being here. Everybody at the Smell the Coffee crew, appreciate you being here. I was out with Zilla earlier today at the beach. She was interrupting filming. She keeps jumping up on me. When I film, she'll jump up. She gets jealous. So I've had issues. Hopefully she'll behave. I got my big boy Rex. Rex, 160 pounds of male burble. Hopefully he'll behave. Where's Zilla? There's Zilla. They should be okay. They've had walks and runs, so they should be good. So look, welcome. Look, what I want to talk about today, make sure you go see all my other videos, please, because I'm giving you pieces of the puzzle each time. The more pieces of the puzzle you get and start understanding, and you can't just hear it, you got to finally listen and let it really resonate inside of you so that it's a piece of the puzzle that you can use. It's going to help you form all your thoughts, and you're going to be able, as you learn more and more, not just from me, from anyone else that is you're learning from. The more pieces of the puzzle you get, you're going to start seeing a clearer picture of this world around you and why it's happening, and solutions and answers showing you what you can do as we move forward. So today we're going to look at mainstream science, orthodox science, and we're going to look at a little bit of why they're doing it. This is the important part. I am going to talk about an important part, a piece of the puzzle, but we want to know why this is happening. Why are the authorities, the controllers doing this? Okay, that's the important part of all of this. So I did make some notes. I'm hopefully going to show some images so that it will make it maybe a little bit more interesting for everybody, so you don't have to look at my mug all the time. But look, let's just talk briefly for a second again with the science community. Okay, if you start really breaking it down and looking at it, it's a religion in itself, okay? They have their own books they follow, their own doctrines that they all have to follow. They can't stray out of the guidelines, the parameters of their doctrines, otherwise they get told off. Anybody that's not mainstream and not practicing and promoting the doctrines of the science community, they get cut off and they get quieted, all right? They've got their own prophets, the names, the big names that they all put on a pedestal and act holier than thou. Okay, that's science. Okay, it's just like a religion. And of course, the other thing is science it's controlled. Like I was saying, there's guidelines they all have to fit into. Otherwise, they're made to disappear and be quiet. It's financed. Most of the research and scientists, they work for the big schools, the big universities. The universities have grants. They've got government grants. They've got grants from wealthy people. They get funded. They get financed. And obviously, if you don't toe the company lines and do what the people providing the finances want you to promote and say, it's silenced. So that's what we're going to look at a little bit today. We're going to look at the science community, and I'm going to give you a really important piece of the puzzle so that you can use it and start piecing together what's happening in the world around you. So I want to start off just by giving you this image right here. And you'll know what this is, okay? This is in the US of A, Wyoming. This is the Devil's Tower. They call it the Devil's Tower. It was made very famous in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, I believe. That's where they filmed it. And just take a look at it. What does that look like? You got to use your own brain. Don't let people tell you that you're not good enough and that you don't understand stuff. What do your eyes see? What does your rational brain tell you? What does it look like? Look at all those layers. Look at it. It looks like bark. It looks like a tree stump. Okay? So that's Devil's Tower in Wyoming. It looks just like a tree stump. You can imagine that being a massive tree going up from there, but it was cut down. It was chopped down. That looks just like a tree stump to me. That's what my eyes tell me. That's what my brain tells me. And as you start looking deeper and looking into things, it very well could be. I want this to stimulate thought, conversation. You tell me what you think. Now, the science community wants to tell you what that is. They want to dictate that to you. They want to say that they're mountain ranges. They were formed by erosion, rain, wind over millions and millions of years, okay? That's what they want to tell you. They want to tell you that it was created through volcanoes, through lava flows, all right? Now, let's start looking into that, okay? Let's start looking into it. So let me put my glasses on. Let's look serious here. Now, when you look at that image, it looks like a tree stump. The outside of it looks just like bark. Looks like how a tree would look. Now, how is it that I'm saying that that is a tree stump, okay? When the scientists, the orthodox mainstream science and research and every other professional wants to tell you that that was formed by a volcano, by igneous lava, okay? They want to say that lava spewed up through the earth and cooled down and formed that tower. Did it form that tower like that? Lava, cooled lava. That's what they want to say it is. Now, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And here's why as you start looking into it. So I started looking into this a little bit, okay? I started doing research. There's formations like that all around the world, formations like that, okay? We can call them mesas, we can call them mountain formations, but they're all around the world. We call them plateaus, all right? So many of these, they look like tree stumps. They are funnels coming up, and then they just look like they're cut off. They just look like trees that have been cut down. That's what they look like, okay? I think I've got some more images showing this for you right now. Let's go take a look. And I'm just gonna put you through a few more images so that you can see what we're talking about. All right? Many, many images from all of these things from around the world. All right, just take a look at those. All right, look at that. It looks like cut down trees. It looks like stumps, tree stumps. All right, this one's amazing. All right, look at this one. You can see the rings, just like if that was a tree cut down. You can see the rings. Just imagine this hadn't crumbled so much and there was more of it. It would be a nice, more big circular, like a tree stump. But look at the ring formations you can see in this one. All right, you can see ring formations in a lot of the rock formations, the plateaus. They're all over the world and they look just like this, okay? trees that have been cut down. They're in India, Australia, Venezuela, all right? See now, look, you've got a real tree stump here. And then you've got the one that they say was caused by lava. You got a real tree stump here. And then the one that is a massive formation that is rock. And they're saying it's caused by lava. Okay? That's Devil's Tower, I believe, right there. That's the one in Wyoming. It even looks like an old tree. Okay, and so what happens is it's called petrification. These trees are petrified, and so they've turned to stone. They're organic material that has turned to stone. That's what happens. That's what happens with these trees. That's why they're rocks. And it's basically the organic material that was there. Once it starts dying, and with the right conditions, the organic material mineralizes. In other words, it turns to stone. Petrification, that's what it's called. And so all of these things are rock now, but they were not rock at one point. Okay? So that's what's happening, everybody. They're all around the world. There's Devil's Tower again. Okay, that's the one in Wyoming. Look at these formations. Okay? And as we start talking about this one with a little bit more detail, each one of these columns, you can see it here going down. You know, these are maybe 10 feet across, these rock columns, and they're all hexagonal in shape. And that's very important, okay? So that's Devil Tower in Wyoming. And so many of the other formations all around the world, they're the same. They have the hexagonal formations that are present in all of the formations that we find. And that hexagonal formation, that geometric pattern, is super important, okay? Because you know where you find that? That's right, you find that in trees and in plant life, right? So I started looking into things a little bit, and I also want to give a shout out right here. What's the gentleman's name? This guy's incredible. He did a lot of work on this. I started looking into wanting to do content on these petrified trees about 2 weeks ago, and it's so weird how life works. I started getting hit on the platforms by a lot of different people studying this. So I want to give a shout out to one guy that really gave me locations, and his information was amazing. His name, the name I get is Daniel Alexander Cannon. His site, his platform, Logic Before Authority. You got to go check him out. Logic Before Authority is the name. I believe the person's name is Daniel Alexander Cannon. He's put a lot of effort into this, and he presented a lot of the stuff I'm going to quickly regurgitate as well. I want to give these people that do all that work a big shout out. It's amazing what they're doing. I don't have a lot of time. I have a job, but I do want to pass on great information to all you guys. So look, these plateaus all around the world, like that one in Wyoming, or you may call them mesas, whatever you want to call them. And the science community wants to tell you that they're formed by lava from millions of years ago coming out of the ground, and it cools, and it cools in these hexagonal cylinders. Are you kidding me? It's not true. I don't believe it's true. I mean, I know all the scientists are going to argue with me and all that, but I've just learned there's patterns that you got to pay attention to. NASA, the government, the science community, they're all lying. They wanted to lie about the illness that was going around a little while ago, and we had to put those arm things in our shoulders. I didn't, but many did. And they lied about the effectiveness of that V word. right? The V words didn't work. It didn't help you with that illness. It didn't work. They lie all the time. NASA lies all the time about outer space. So I don't trust the government. I think I'll trust the ordinary people that do their research, and I'll listen to the answers that they found, okay? Just like what I'm showing you. Wake up, smell the coffee, subscribe, like, and share all of this. This is the real stuff right now. This is the real stuff. The wake up and smell the coffee crew. We're giving you the good stuff. All right, so listen to this piece of the puzzle. It's amazing. So look, if you take a tree, a real tree, and you start analyzing, looking at on a microscopic level with microscopes, the tree rings. If you start taking plants, cutting through their stem and looking at the fibers in plants, what do you find? You find that geometric hexagonal pattern. That's the shape that they form. All of the cells working together to create the stems, the bark, the trunk. They all work with that hexagonal pattern. That's what gives the plant, the tree, the strength for it to be able to stand upright and grow tall. And they all share that hexagonal pattern. And where is that hexagonal pattern? In all of those rock formations. You don't see hexagonal patterns in lava flows. That's BS. All these lava flows in Hawaii, elsewhere, you find a volcano that erupted and the flow of the lava that came down down the mountainside. Go take it apart. Go look at it. There's no honeycomb of hexagonal structures in it. It's just a solid chunk of lava that's flown out. But anyway, they want to say that all of those things were formed by cooling lava, igneous lava. I don't believe it. All right, so wake up, smell the coffee. This is what the scientists are trying to promote. Magma came up, the lava came up, and then it solidified. Apparently when it cools, it creates those hexagonal cylinders, and that's that. And that's what those things are. That's the explanation that they give for those Devil's Towers images. All right? They say that that's caused by the cooling lava. Yet your rational brain in your eyes that is God-given tells you that that looks like a tree stump. Now, you got to start doing your own research and understanding the world we live in, and that potentially there was giant trees all over the world. Just imagine how much oxygen would have been in the atmosphere back then. Dense, much denser with oxygen. And what did we know back in the past? Creatures were much larger because of the oxygen. Insects, giants, humans, human giants. All the animals, larger because of the denser atmosphere, more oxygen. Just imagine what it's like when you got so much oxygen. You're more powerful. You can run longer, stronger. You're stronger. So maybe there was massive trees before, real massive ones that were up into the, way over the clouds, massive trees, mile, 2 miles high, maybe taller. You tell me. And the coverings of those trees covered miles of land under those branches, under that tree. Just imagine that, giant trees that I just showed you on those images, and right here on the computer screen, the one in Wyoming. Now, they're not just in Wyoming, they're all over the world. Look at what they do with movies, TV, movies, books. All right, it's kind of part of what they do. Look at my other stuff. We know this is true. We go into this. It's like they have to tell you, excuse me, they have to tell you what they're doing. I don't know why, but we see it in the movies. Whether it's predictive programming or they're just being honest about what they're doing. But everything is full of giants nowadays, monster movies, superheroes, humans with special powers, injecting yourself with something, giving you extra special capabilities and powers. That's all we see. Cyborgs, machines, merging, man with machine, monsters, alien movies. That's all we see. Now, is that just because? I don't think so. They're showing you what's actually happening already. These things are happening. They're just around the corner. You got to check out my other videos so things make sense. And I'm sure that so many of you are very educated on this already. And please comment, join in this community and help me learn as well. Teach me as well. All right. Many of you are very knowledgeable about all of this. This stuff's just around the corner. We're going to start seeing this kind of stuff manifest with us. The government will probably start introducing this to us, rolling this out to us on TV, with news release, mainstream media. They'll start rolling these things out to us. Demons on the streets, giants that walk the earth again, hybrid creatures. It seems like they're definitely going to start rolling out aliens to us soon. Look at all the movies, the Disclosure movie. They're going to start introducing this stuff to us, right? That's what they do. So they're also hiding a lot of the great things that we should know from us. I believe that they've hid the past from us, just like what I've showed you here. I'm sure that there were massive trees in the past. The Bible states this. Your own eyes and ears show you this. I just showed you those images. Your eyes and ears know that that looks like a tree that was cut off. Now here's the kicker. If those are massive trees that are cut down, who or what cut them down? All right. Let me know in the comments if you know what you think that might be. Let's start looking if we can uncover what that was, who that was, and why. All right. So we're going to delve into that. Now, it's amazing though. Just imagine if we lived in a world, it wasn't too long ago, where there were massive trees, giant trees that fed us. We lived in them, okay? I was talking about the movies, how they have to tell you the truth. What was the movie just a little while ago? Avatar. You saw that planet that they were visiting and the military was based on. There was forest everywhere. And some of the trees were 20 times larger, 100 times larger than the other ones. They were 2 miles high, just like what I'm showing you here. Why are the movies showing those trees? And they were all living in it. The animals were living in it. They were able to feed from those trees. It offered homes. It offered security. It offered warmth. It offered food. Okay? I'm figuring that really is all true. All right? That's just how I'm seeing it. You tell me if I'm wrong, all right? So that was Avatar movie. And that movie was massive. James Cameron, they probably did 2 or 3 more already. But look, here's the other thing. What else in the Avatar movie were they doing? That planet with all those trees, all of the plants, all of the animals, they were all linked together. And that harmonious orchestra of the life forms, the plants, the trees, the life forms, the insects, all of the animals, those creatures, the Avatar creature, they were linked in a harmonious manner with the nature. It was like they called it the mother tree and they were able to connect with it. Literally, they could physically connect with their tails to the trees and plants. And they were able to receive information from it, knowledge from it, the all-knowing knowledge from time and history of ever. They were able to get healing energy from it. They would interface with the nature. There was energy waves. They could receive something, okay? Now, this can be just conjecture. I'm showing you kind of like real evidence with the physical structures, the makeup, what petrification is. Now, I was also watching a lady she goes on platforms asking AI questions. Now, the AI said yes, there were giant trees, and they are cut down giant trees. But the AI was saying it wasn't quite as how you would see a tree right now. It wasn't an all wood structure. It was more of a organic structure, but created in a very mineral it was built together with a mineral composition that was not just necessarily bark, but minerals that were conductive, that conducted energy, right? Just like the Avatar movie. And the AI was saying that in the past, this world was like that Avatar movie. The big trees were able to conduct the energy. It was holding the energy, transporting, relaying the energy. Okay, just like in that Avatar movie. And it was sources of real energy that was connected to, a lot of people like to call it the source, right? What is that energy? Is it from God? You let me know. You tell me what your thoughts on it, right? But that's what the AI was saying, that these big trees did exist. They were massive, and they were linked, just like in the Avatar movie, to energy. And they relayed energy, they transferred energy, and it was this whole network system of big trees and plant life that was harmonious with a positive energy that this world used to have, but then that was changed. Now, that's something else that we can look into. If you guys and girls can educate me on that, please do. But I just want to give you the pieces of the puzzle with what I was just showing you, which is they call them mountain ranges, these formations that are all over the world that are probably just massive trees that were cut down. But here's the thing, who cut them down? Why were they cut down? Who's got the power and strength to cut them down? Okay? And they're all cut down. They're all flat plateaus. They're completely flat. It's incredible. Something cut them off and cut them down. All right, so look, I think I've kind of hit the main points on that. I just want to give you a little bit of more extra information, okay? So petrification is where the organic material mineralizes. Most often it's done in the ground, and there has to be the correct environment. Water is needed, I believe, other elements, and then petrification occurs. Basically, organic material turns into rock, right? Most commonly, quartz, basalt, right? It's normally like some kind of silica base, the mineral composition that the organic material turns into. So look, if there was an animal dead, it mineralizes too. And there's a lot of evidence out there of big creatures that we see as rocks, mountains, and a lot of people say, are they really giants that are mineralized now? You tell me. I'm just trying to stimulate conversation. I'm thinking yes. All right, so petrification is the turning into stone, into rock of the organic material. And that's what I believe these things are. They're tree stumps. They were once organic material, and then they were petrified. Now, the science community, the mainstream science, they want to tell you that, it's just that the ground was eroded and just formed those shapes, the big towers up like that, like a stump, and then cut off on top. And it's just erosion, rain, water, and wind, and over the years and years it eroded. But look, here's the thing. You wouldn't have these massive structures jutting up and standing out like an upright tree if there wasn't something there in the first place that was petrified and became a harder what's the word? Became a harder composite than the ground surrounding it. Because if they're saying that it was erosion, what they're saying is that the softer rock around that shape got eroded away by the water, the rain, and the wind, leaving that shape. Okay, so that actually just gives more proof to what I'm saying. There has to be something there originally that has to be petrified, that turns into the harder rock. So there was something there that had to be petrified that turned into quartz, which is a very hard rock, right? In order that the softer rock erodes away and then leaves that. So the tree stump was there. That's why it remained and didn't get eroded. That's why the softer rocks got eroded and left the shape of the tree stump. But that original thing had to be there in the first place for the erosion to look like that. Okay? They're lying. They lie about everything, and this is another lie, okay? Now look, these formations are everywhere. So, that's what's going on. It's called petrification, where organic material turns to rock. The organic material just becomes mineralized. It's mineralization. It turns to rock, mineral, right? And I also saw a presentation just about 6 months, 1 year ago, where this guy, an expert, gave for an hour a whole lecture on petrification, talking about the animals we see that are probably petrified animals, giants, large snakes, you name it. And petrification, he proved it, doesn't take millions of years. It can happen, it could have been a few weeks, few months, or years. I don't remember correctly. But it's no more than 2 years. Within 2 years, you can have proper, full petrification, completely mineralized organic material. It only takes a matter of years. It just needs to have the right environment. If the right components are there, petrification happens real fast. So if all these scientists want to talk about millions and millions of years, okay? It can happen real fast. Okay, so I'm giving you real great pieces of the puzzle, talking about petrification, talking about the real true structure of real trees, real plants, and how it's mimicked in all of these formations, these plateaus or these mesas, however you want to call them. And these things are all over the world. And now look at this, okay? In Venezuela, you get a lot of these formations. Venezuela, there's tons of these formations, okay? All right. Let me give you the name of one, right? Wayaki Piapi. And look, the only places in the world that want to say that these are rock formations are the US and Europe, the UK. The scientists from there want to keep talking about how these are rock formations and that they were lava. When you start going to the original places and you speak to the natives of those countries, those other countries where all these formations are, the local natives have a historical background and history of calling them trees. All right, that doesn't just happen. It's built since the beginning of them being there. The people that witnessed it and saw it and grew with them passed down verbal knowledge. And so Wayaka Piapi in Venezuela, that is translated in the felled tree or tree stump. Can you believe that? I got people doing stuff here. This is the way it is. I don't edit stuff. So if you're hearing stuff being pulled, I got children in my laboratory right now. So look at this one. Wadaka Piapo, I believe also in Venezuela. That translates to tree of all fruits, tree of life. Okay? I'm just giving you the real stuff. Wake up and smell the coffee, everybody. Chero Otana, translated to stump of the sacred tree from the natives of that area. Canuye Piapa, guava tree stump. Okay? Pure Piapa, headless tree. Are you kidding me? It just goes on and on and on. Karau Rin, guanabana tree. And then look at this one, the Devil's Tower in, I think I got the name for this somewhere, but I'm not going to find it now. I wrote it down. Anyway, I don't know if I have the name, but also look, the Devil's Tower in Wyoming, US. The Native Americans know it as the rock tree. Okay, that's the handed down verbal knowledge about the Devil's Tower in Wyoming. It's called the rock tree by the native Indians. Okay, so it's only the scientists that want to start talking about the it's only the scientists that want to start talking about it being cooled lava and it being in these hexagonal tubes that comprise the rock formation. They're out of their mind. I don't know where they come up with it. All right, so all of these things are all over the world. Just remember that the science community, the authorities, the government, they're constantly trying to lie to us. You know, what is it with them? Why do they want to hide that from us? Obviously, there's huge ramifications, implications if we know the truth. If we know that the world, the earth we stand on, isn't how they promote it to us, that maybe there are no other planets out there. They're just lights like the sun and the moon in the firmament, in the dome above our earth. Maybe it's a flat earth. Let's start looking into it. I don't think they can shoot rockets, and we'll go into this a lot more if you want. Comment and let me know what you want me to go into. I got tons of proof that we can't get out of the Earth orbit, the firmament above us, not letting anything in, and it doesn't let anything out. All right, we can start looking into that. So just remember that the government, the science community, they want you dumbed down. They want you to believe the propaganda, the narrative that they want you to believe. Why? What are they trying to do to us? What are they hiding from us? If we knew differently, we wouldn't listen to them. If we knew that this world was special, magical, that there was a spirit world, we wouldn't think that their system and their games and the evil they conduct all around us, probably wouldn't join in. Right? So start getting the pieces of the puzzle, wake up and smell the coffee. Just remember that all of this that's going on is done for a reason, and they want us dumbed down, not understanding the real nature of the world. And these things are everywhere. Mount Kirikabu in Japan. The locals called that Tree Stump Mountain. Okay? They're everywhere. Fingal's Cave in Scotland. There's many of these formations in Iceland. Okay? Alcantara Gorge, Italy. Devil's Post Pile in Northern California. Prismas Basaliticos in Mexico. Middle Brother Mountain, Australia. Mount Kira, Australia. Mount Bukit Tunggul, Indonesia. Mount Meru, India. These things, they're in Africa. They're all over the world. These formations that were like giant trees are all over the world. I forgot to show you this thing. But look, just take a look at this. I hand drew this. Now, if these things were really the result of volcanoes, lava, all right, look, this is what it looks like. Here's Devil's Tower. That's what Devil's Tower looks like. And that's cooled lava. When you see a volcano, it looks like this. The mountain slowly goes up. Maybe there's a thing. And that's what a volcano looks like. That looks nothing like anything that is to do with lava. Okay? They're lying to us. They lie constantly. This is a tree stump, a tree, and then it's cut off. This one looks a little bit better. I redrew it because my first Devil's Tower was really tall, which it is really tall. But look, most of the time they look like this, more of these things. They're a little lower to the ground and very flat, cut off, just like a tree stump. That's what they look like. That's what mesas look like. That's what these formations look like. They've got the hexagonal geometric pattern, just like trees do, just like plant life does. So you tell me, the Smell the Coffee crew, you tell me. I want to just quickly find you one more thing, bear with me. I just want to leave you on this to show you a few more images. Hopefully I can pull it up. And then we'll get you guys and girls out of there. Please, if you like what I'm bringing to you guys, subscribe, share this, please, okay? And check out the other videos because there's a ton of stuff in here. I'm going to cover way more pieces of the puzzle, and it's going to help you to understand the world around you. It's supremely important, especially nowadays. There's so many crazy things happening in the world, and you need to understand what you got to do in order to take care of yourself. All right, so I'm giving you guys and girls all the pieces of the puzzle. Bear with me because I want to give you guys a few more images, and this is done by a guy that does really great work. Bear with me because I gotta wait for it to be ready. Zilla jumped up on the couch. She knows she's not allowed up there. So it's unbelievable. All right, let me get this for you. These images, just so that I can leave you with them again, because the science community wants to tell you that you don't know anything, that you're not good enough. And I want to tell you, me and Rex, you don't see Rex often. That's my big boy. I got to put him in there sometimes. Sometimes they get into arguments, my dogs. So let me show you these images, because these images really, they really bring it home, okay? Hold on. I'm nearly there. I don't edit anything. So you just see it roll. I'm not going to edit it, but yeah, I got the images here now. Okay, check this out. Look for yourselves. Okay, this is what they look like. They're all over the world, and they look just like tree stumps. They're from all over the world. Okay, it's Venezuela, it's Australia, it's India, it's in Scotland, it's in Ireland, it's in Iceland, they're in Indonesia, they're in Africa, okay? They're all the same thing. They've all got the same patterns that you find in trees. You can make out the tree rings, okay? So, please, everybody, join the Wake Up and Smell the Coffee crew. Subscribe, like, share this with your friends. Hopefully it inspires conversation with everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much for everybody being here. Keep watching my other videos because there's a reason why I'm giving you pieces of the puzzle. We're going to start piecing it together as to why this is being done to us and what we've got to do to survive in this world, okay? God bless you all. Much love to all of you. And from Zilla, Rex, myself, all of us, Wake Up and Smell the Coffee crew. All right, a fond farewell. We'll catch you on the next one. I can't get it to stop.